True surrender is. True surrender is accepting what your nervous system can handle, despite how much more you desire. As your nervous system relaxes, the everything you wish to receive is given to enter your reality. This is the heart of co creation. You see, and this is what I always knew. Even when I have reached the bliss point in the mental sphere, and and after 1.5 months, I have entered the dark night of the soul, the astral realm, which is never the dark night of the soul. It is the dark night of the conditioned human false self, which is does not even know its core self, core essence. It's like false persona. Everybody is schizophrenic, they just don't know it. Wow. And of course, soul fragmentation, you're going into different dimensions and timelines when I've been, and it was very exhausting. And even at night, I still go in that, but I do not, um, how can I say, suffer from the multidimensional self and beingness of me being in so many different dimensions, in so many different personas, and really doing all kinds of things. What I have noticed that I keep meeting, in that sense, meeting myselfs and from different personas, different dimensions, and even in this reality, I am meeting all of my false conditioned um, old self, which is like in different timelines and different dimensions, and sometimes they are in this dimension too, and meeting in another someone, and it reminds me of one part of me which I used to be, okay, which I used to be. But since I'm still in the old and the new phasing out the old, but there is some overlapping, and at this time we are really kind of seeing, like past, present, and future are us. It's within us. No more linear time, no more nothing. It's like multi-dimensional, multi-faceted, multi traumatized, and then all kinds of stuff. And you have been traumatized during 26,000 years. You don't even know how many times, you see. And so basically, uh, what I see when I meet someone, and it's kind of reminds me of my old partial part of me, I just observe, but I do not engage with that timeline in a sense, because there are other timelines, you see. And so it's so funny because last year, I cannot even believe that it's only last year in May, which is like May a year ago. I mean, that, come on now. I mean, I've been in so many places, so many timelines, and so many dimensions that, fuck. Anyway, I met a girl there, and she reminded me of an angel. She was she had some tattoos and some 2 or 3 um, teardrops on her face. But she was very kind. She was very nice, and I liked her a lot. And I just have this sometimes I just have to cry. And she was very nice. And she reminded me of me a long time ago. And she said that when I went there to eat there in that restaurant twice or three times, and she said, "You remind me of freedom." That's what she told me. And she could sense it. And she said, "But I did not have what you have. I did not have that because it's a difficult road and to really." And the quote that I just read in the beginning is exactly the reality that I want. And because I know that I cannot be happy anywhere else because everything else is another old timeline, an old fucked up shit. And it's weird how ourselves, when we are in that dark night, we are so influenceable in that sense because we are so many of us and in the same time so many of the old part of you and so many of the new is there, and then you have all that. We just like it's 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 terrible. So this is why at this time it's very important that you are hidden. In that sense, I am hidden, because when you are hidden, you are in your stillness and you are in your silence, and you are in that you do not want to interact with a timeline which is not a representation of your current best of the best. And you know what is that. I know what that is. And I cannot participate or um, interact with something which is of my old past. I cannot do that. And the funny thing is, at the same time, we sometimes when we are in our how can I say, when you are in that particular part of you, which let's say is um, used to believe in survival, let's say, or used to believe in work, or used to believe in in being less than somebody else, or being um, let's say on one side this incredible respect for how can I say this, uh, authority, for example. But on the other hand, your soul does not believe in authority. It does not mean that anybody has any authority over you. No, I don't have that. I do not believe that. I do not believe that anybody can have an authority over me. And but many people, your humanness, that human self, which is not your soul and not your core self, the human self used to believe that. Used to believe that. I used to believe that, and I was very respectful in that sense. And it's so amazing how you are in many different timelines and dimensions and versions of you, and all those versions can be influenced. So at this time when you are in the dark night, no wonder that you are completely out of the outgoingness. There is no such a thing. You're introvert, not extrovert. You are living the introvert timeline and your introvert phase and your introvert you, because you're accessing your soul. So when you're accessing your soul and when you are reconnecting and reconnecting, because you are in the process of reconnecting to your core essence and to your soul, you're not supposed to fucking deal with a lot of idiots, okay? You don't want to deal with them. You don't want to deal with all those. And this is exactly why, like, I had this thing that I don't want to listen to nobody. I don't want to listen to them. And because, of course, you don't want to listen, because this is exactly why, because you don't want to be influenced. Influence flowing inside, you don't want any flow inside. This is why you are not participating at that time with people who are not on your level. And even if they are on your level, they are just partially on your level, okay? Because you don't, if they did not go through the culmination of all of their lifetimes, they are not on your level, okay? And so this is why I was coming home in the morning and I was somewhere, and then I all of a sudden I had this like, I don't know who I am yet completely, because I've been so many. I've been so many during 26,000 years. And basically, you're reliving the condition, the false conditioned self. I don't even like to use the self, it's personas. Um, and, and, and the confusion comes on back online at that phase, at that time. But you don't want to deal with that, because it's not the real you. That is not my core essence. That is not my original blueprint. It is a distortion. It's a distortion of the original blueprint, who was conditioned, who is false, and who is a persona's many personas. Okay, if you want to listen, and I'm only saying this because there's this one picture, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, when I've been so many, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, whatever, da 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 da. And this is how we were fragmenting ourselves during 26,000 years, which is given for us to really fragmented in the illusion itself. And so you no longer want to react to an illusional part of you. You no longer want to, and because everybody is, in a sense, can remind you of one part, that you have one incarnation, you have one something, like, let's say there was one in 1756 and there was one in 1333, or do you understand what it is? So this is exactly, it's when you act into the dark night of the soul. This is why they say, don't act, there is nothing, I'm safe. Insecure means insecure. I am secure on the inside. And that is the particular phase where you just I mean, a lot of times you heard that you just particularly became the watcher. You're just a watcher. You're just an observer in that sense. But be careful because there is only a mental phase, and then there is the astral realm where the dark night, and this is where you enter the reptilian part of your brain, and that's where that's why I met the primal fear. Holy fuck! If you could feel the primal fear, um, I don't wish it for nobody because I'm telling you, before a certain soul age, which is like you're ancient, you are an old soul, you are old soul, you are billions and billions of years old. If you are an old soul, if you are a young soul in that sense, then you are, you're gonna get lost in illusion, and you are lost in illusion, and that's what you believe. You believe that there is only one reality, and that there is only one timeline, and there is only one you, and because the you does not know you, the false persona is not capable to know the core essence and the original blueprint. I wrote a lot during this time. I started writing in 2013, something like that, or 12. But I mean, it was like everything I have written down, I live through right now. And I've channeled, I have done this, I have done that, I've done everything. And so this particular phase, not everybody will go through. And holy fuck, it was very heavy. So we do not interact at this time. We are hidden, and and we are awakening to our own core essence, which is the core, which is without distortion, which is without all the false conditioned humanness. And that's it. That's it. And so let me read that because it's really, I probably can speak to you the same way. True surrender is accepting what your nervous system can handle, despite how much more you desire. As your nervous system relaxes, the everything you wish to receive is given to enter your reality. This is the heart of co-creation. And this is exactly the particular phase. Thank you. So, and if you are going through the same phase and the same type of dark night, which is the culmination of all of your lifetimes, it's harder than any fucked up crap that anybody else is going through, because you're going through the pain body, and everything is about emotions. Um, if you are going through this, then this video will mean a lot to you. If not, it means nothing.